Frankie, you see them?
What?
You see them women that you're picking up there
Yeah.
with the
I've got
skirt?
women in the car now.
Yeah, but why is the car bouncing? What they're doing?
Bouncing around with the bum and the boobs.
Bad lad, stop it. Oh, I let him play GTA to just drive about. I've definitely failed as a dad. At 7-year-old, I was watching Rugrats, playing Game Boys, not picking up brasses on GTA.
With GTA 6 set to be released at the end of this month, the hype is building fast. But while the world gets ready to dive back into Rockstar's ultra-realistic chaos, I couldn't help but stop and ask, what kind of impact are these games really having on young minds? Well, games like GTA have always been controversial. They're packed with violence, crime and behavior that most of us would never accept in real life. Yet, millions of kids, despite the 18+ age rating, are still playing them every single day. So in today's video, we're breaking down the psychological impact of games like GTA, especially when played by children. How does it affect the way they think, behave and view the world around them? And what does the research actually say about it? Before we get into it, please like, share and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is the Open Files. Let's go. Grand Theft Auto games are known for their open world freedom, criminal activity, explicit language, and graphic violence. Players can engage in carjackings, shootouts, drug deals, and other adult scenarios. Some people see it as just a game, but children who lack the maturity to process these themes often absorb the behavior as normal. Studies have shown that repeated exposure to such content can desensitize kids to violence and blur the lines between right and wrong. Children's brains are still developing, particularly in the parts that control judgment, impulse control, and emotional regulation. When exposed to violent video games, studies suggest that their brain's reward systems become activated by aggression, reinforcing the behavior. This can lead to increased irritability, poor conflict resolution, and in some cases, even mimicry of what they see in games. More worryingly, it can also influence how children perceive authority, gender roles, and the real-world consequences. And it's not just a theory, there are real-world cases where children have committed violent crimes and pointed the finger at games like Grand Theft Auto. In 2003, 2 teens in Tennessee fatally shot a man and injured a woman, later claiming they were inspired by GTA. The defense argued the game desensitized them and blurred the lines between reality and fiction. In 2013, an 8-year-old in Louisiana shot and killed his grandmother after reportedly playing GTA for hours that day. Authorities said the game's violent themes may have influenced these actions, raising serious concerns about exposure at such a young age. These tragic events show how powerful digital environments can be, especially on developing minds. Let's take a closer look. So here's a news clip about the 8-year-old boy who shot his 90-year-old grandmother after playing Grand Theft Auto. Let me get into it now.
Gunshot echoed from this trailer park Thursday night when an 8-year-old child shot his grandmother in the back of the head. Neighbors were shocked, and the owners say it's usually a quiet place.
I've been here since 1980, and we haven't experienced a lot of this. People have moved out of town, out of other trailer parks to come out here, and they say it's peaceful and quiet.
East Feliciana Parish Sheriff's investigators say the little boy pulled the trigger on his 90-year-old grandmother after playing Grand Theft Auto 4, a realistic video game encouraging violence and giving points for killing people.
They need to, actually teach them about gun safety. The younger kids, they should know where did he see the gun? Like, where did she have the gun? Where was it placed? Like, was it in his eyesight? Or that's what kind of thoughts that goes through my head.
It's a shock to me as much as it is anyone else, because everything's been so peaceful. Miss Smothers was a fine tenant, never give us no trouble, called all the time.
But she won't be calling anymore.
Hope that everything goes all right with the family. And, I will be praying for that family.
Family members say the boy was just visiting his grandmother from Baton Rouge, and they had a normal, loving relationship.
Crime and everything's eventually coming out our way. We know that. I sure hate to see it go that way because we enjoy it. We'd like for it to be a peaceful place for people to live, and raise their families. And a number of people do that.
Rebecca Buchanan, WBRZ, Balance News.
So that was the news clip about the 8-year-old being influenced by Grand Theft Auto. And now I'm getting ready to bring up another news clip. This is about the 6 teens from Long Island, New York, who also was influenced by Grand Theft Auto to do criminal activities. So as I bring up my screen, I'm going to play the video.
Grand Theft Auto isn't just a video game anymore. Police say that for 6 Long Island teens, it was inspiration for a violent crime spree. Police say the teens admitted they were copying a character in the video game.
I think it's a disgrace. I think it should be taken off the market. I mean, this encourages children to do these kind of things.
They simply stated that they needed something to do.
Police say the 3 teens beat and mugged a man in the parking lot of a shopping center, knocking out several of his teeth just to steal money from his wallet. Then police say the teens moved on to a local train station where they targeted a group of young men who turned out to be their classmates. 3 of the would-be victims then allegedly joined in the crime spree.
Well, it's hard to believe because it seems so nice in this area and there aren't that many people around, so it's pretty scary at the same time. And if that happened to me, I don't know what I would do.
Police say this larger group of teens armed themselves with a bat, a crowbar, and a broomstick to hijack a car. They formed a human roadblock and stopped a woman driving a black BMW. The teens stole her cigarettes before she got away. A few minutes later, police say they smashed a passing van with a bat. Both drivers called 911, and the teens were arrested within minutes. 2 members of the group are juveniles, but they've all been charged as adults with first-degree robbery. 1 teen was also charged with criminal possession of stolen property. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
Now seeing those cases laid out, it's hard not to stop and think. When real lives are lost and the line between virtual violence and the reality gets blurred, especially in young developing minds, we need to ask ourselves, are we doing enough to protect children from content they're not ready to process? Games like GTA are meant for adults, yet they're in the hands of kids who are still learning right from wrong. This isn't about blaming video games entirely, but we can't ignore their potential influence either. Now, parents and guardians have a role to play also, because it's not just about the games, it's about who allows children to access them. And in many households, there's a lack of understanding about content ratings. Parents often underestimate how much these games can influence their kids. Retailers also play a role by not strictly enforcing age restrictions. As a society, we need better education around digital literacy and more tools to guide safe gaming habits. This is especially important with GTA 6 poised to dominate screens in the coming months. Now, before we jump to conclusions, it's important to hear from the people actually raising the next generation. So I've gathered a mix of reactions from parents and everyday adults, some who believe games like GTA are doing real harm, and others who think it all comes down to parenting and personal responsibility. Let's take a look and see what they have to say.
I would totally let my 11-year-old kid play GTA, and here's why. Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto. They're stealing cars. But what it's actually teaching them how to do is how to build assets. It's teaching them how to start with this car and get to this car and make this car better. My girlfriend's kid, he's got these really cool cars that he's customized, but in order to get there, he's had to do the work to get them customized. So it's teaching them how to get from point A to point B to point C. And as long as you've instilled the right values in the kid, it doesn't matter if it's Grand Theft Auto. As long as they know that it's bad to steal a car, but it is good to learn how to do this and have fun doing it, then let them play.
Gamer parents advice.
And don't you fail. Learn from my mistakes. So any parent out there, especially a gamer parent, hear this mistake. There are certain games you shouldn't let your kids play, even if you trust them to play them in a way that isn't bad for them. Case in point, GTA 5. It's a fun game if you just run around with your car and you interact with the environment. Maybe you punch some people and kill some people. That's nothing crazy in my family for video games. We understand that's video games. But in GTA 5, there are other things that you could do, like go to the strip club. Well, one time, my 7-year-old stumbled upon the strip club, and so we told him, this is not what you need to do. This is one of the parts of the game that we don't want you exploring. This is something out of your age, and we tried to explain to him in as little details as possible, but still not trying to hide any information from him. After the strip club incident, we told him not to go there anymore, and then today he showed his little brother the strip club. Unfortunately, I had to uninstall the game, but I failed as a leader trying to trust my children, and I won't do that again with trusting them with video games like that. So don't make that mistake like I did. Parents help parents. Let's go.
Frankie, you see them?
What?
You see them women that you're picking up there
Yeah.
with the
I've got
skirt?
women in the car now,
Yeah, but why is the car bouncing? What they're doing?
bouncing around with the bum and the boobs.
Bad lad, stop it. Oh, I let him play GTA to just drive about. I've definitely failed as a dad. At 7-year-old, I was watching Rugrats, playing Game Boys, not picking up brasses on GTA.
No, so now there's worse things. Like they can be doing worse than playing GTA. You know,
How do you feel about him playing GTA?
I don't like it. But I can't argue with him because I played it when I was a kid. So it's like, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite.
I'll be real, there's
I
worse
hear it.
things.
I listen to. Yeah, there's worse things.
There's worse things on the net right now. Remember when we were younger, and playing
At least it's not on
GTA?
TikTok.
You can access the internet like you can access it now. So now there's worse things. Like they can be doing worse than playing GTA. Whereas for us, that was like our first exposure to like you could go pick someone
Literally.
up and you couldn't
And
see
the
that
hose on
back
the
in the
street.
day.
I didn't catch him picking up a
shorty, yeah.
You didn't. Mine
but
neither.
I caught him in a strip club.
What, spending the dollars?
I got a video. I'll show you lot after. So, what are you doing? I heard it. Then
You heard the music
yeah,
in it.
I went into the front room.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? It's like, no. Like, I was just, how did you get here? He said, oh, I was doing a job, like.
As you can see, the opinions are divided. Some view games like GTA as a dangerous influence, while others see them as harmless entertainment when managed correctly. But one thing's clear, this conversation isn't going away anytime soon. As technology evolves and games become more immersive, the debate around their impact on young minds is only going to grow louder. At the end of the day, this isn't about blaming one game, it's about asking the right questions. How are we shaping young minds, and are we paying enough attention to what influences them? Whether you believe GTA is just a game or a deeper psychological trigger, conversations like this are important. If this video made you think, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content just like this. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Peace.